If your job is the task, then it's very likely that when that task is automated, your job will be eliminated or changed.
AI can now save you hours of work and make you at least 10 times faster. It did it for me. But most people use maybe like 10% of what it can actually do. And in this video I'm gonna show you how to get the best out of it, step by step. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Dan. I've been a software engineer for 10 years. And 1 year ago I quit everything just so I can focus on AI and automation. And that's what this channel is about. So I'm gonna teach you 3 things. First, connectors, which is basically how ChatGPT gets into the apps you already use. Second, it's skills, and this is how it learns to work the way you do. The third one, I'm gonna teach you how to find your own automation opportunity. Stick around for this one because it's more important than the actual setup. One thing about how I've put this together, I'm not gonna start with definitions because it gets boring. So for each chapter, I'm gonna show you a real example and then I'm gonna explain the concepts behind. So first we have connectors. And by connectors, I mean apps connected to your ChatGPT. In order to connect apps, you need to add to plugins right here. And we're gonna add our first connector. So this is one of my inboxes right here. I have 210 unread emails. I sent a few to myself here, just so I can show you the value you can get out of it. And then I'm gonna kind of treat ChatGPT as a personal assistant and make it work directly with my emails. Okay, so go right here, click on plus. It's so simple to connect because it will just redirect you to this page. Then you can choose your account and log in. Select all here, continue, and you're done. Now, as you can see, you have tons of plugins here. These are the most used ones. Then you have some for productivity like Notion, ClickUp. And then for creativity, you have a few plugins already created. Then for development, business operations, so all kind of apps. You'll find them here. Now that we've connected Gmail, we can open a new chat. And then we can tell ChatGPT something like, summarize everything I received today in my inbox. So instead of me going to Gmail and checking for this manually, I can just ask ChatGPT to do so. Amazing, it already found that it's connected to Gmail and it's trying to search it. Okay, it found all the 6 emails I received. It found out that 4 out of 6 really are important and then it's telling me to ignore and archive the other 2 notifications. And now we can just talk with ChatGPT and answer these people. And I can just ask stuff like, what's that email about the new lead? Can you tell me what should we reply to him? And send it. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. It replied, it read the full email, it explained to me what's inside, and then it drafted an answer. This is just AI slab, so it's a default pretty generic answer. I'll show you later how to fix this, and it's through skills, what I'll show you in chapter 2. But you get the point. Now let me explain you what these connectors are. Now think of every app as being an island. ChatGPT is its own island. Gmail is one as well, same like Drive, Notion, and all the other apps out there. So a connector is basically a bridge between 2 different islands. In our case, from ChatGPT to Gmail. But as you saw here in plugins, you have more islands that you can just connect to. And it used to be hard. Every bridge was hand-built. Someone had to build that integration between apps, but now it's just one click away. And this is something shared between all of the AIs. So for example, you can connect to other apps in Claude as well. Now there's one standard design behind them, how we all agreed to build bridges so they are the same way. This is called an MCP and is the standard behind it. It's just one single design, so an AI can connect to other apps. Now the bridges already exist, most of them. If you're not working with custom built apps, then probably it's already out there. Now think of the apps you're using. Maybe you're using Jira or ClickUp or Notion. All of them are just one click away and your AI can work inside them. Okay, so now it can connect to my inbox, which is great, right up to the point where you ask it to write something back, just like we did here. Because this sounds just like basic AI slope that nobody's gonna read. And even this dash right here is something that the AI always adds, so you can always tell its AI if you have this. I mean 90% of the cases. And if I have to rewrite everything that it hands me, I haven't saved any time. I've just added a step. So that's the next problem we're gonna fix. First, let me show you where skills live. So head to plugins right here, skills. And you can just click on the plus button here. You can create it in the chat, in the editor, or you can upload it from your PC. But I'm gonna go back to our chat session and just tell it to create the skill for me. Build me a skill for replying to inbound client inquiries, exactly what this was. Here's how I actually do it, and then I give it a set of rules. I keep the first reply short, usually 3 or 4 sentences. I thank them, I confirm I understood what they need in one line so they know I read it. Then I ask the one question that decides whether this is fit. I never quote a price in the first reply and I never promise a timeline. And then I sign off with my first name only. Okay, then I gave it some more rules. Use a calm and confident tone and keep it short. Nobody reads long emails anymore because we have AI. And then don't use AI slang like no fluff and stuff like that. And also don't use dashes as mid-sentence separators. Ask me anything that's unclear before you write it. Okay, this is a really simple set of instructions. You can go deeper into how you write emails, and then after you build a skill, you have to keep improving it. It's the same pattern as how you improve how you work. So you have a process and you make it better over time. The same happens with skills. So let's just send it and see what happens. It started asking me questions, also handled follow-up replies, and it gave us the skill. Just click on install here. Amazing. Now if we go to plugins, skills, you should see it as installed here. Now let's go ahead and try it. Let's open a new chat. Check my inbox for today. Are there any client inquiries there? So this is a new context. I'm trying to do it in a new context. Now it's using the Gmail connector to find the emails again. Now we can just tell it something like, using the inbound skill you have access to, can you draft a reply to this lead? Amazing, you don't have to mention this each time. It will know how to work with skills by default. But I just want to make this super specific. Okay, and it drafted an answer. I still don't like it. This question seems a bit too generic. So I would have to go back and modify the skill. We can just tell ChatGPT to do so. The question seems a bit too generic. Can you draft it again and then update the skill to not ask this type of questions? Amazing, now it looks better. We can just send it and that's it. Now, we use the connector to give it access to Gmail, and then we use the skill to give it our exact process. Of course, there are skills that work without connectors. Like you could have a skill to generate your thumbnails for YouTube directly into ChatGPT and you won't need any connectors for that because it already has an image generation model. So what are skills? Simply said, these are just instructions for one specific task, saved somewhere ChatGPT can reach. It's just a standard, like MCPs were. It's how we decided to create this so everyone can use it. And so we have a more structured way of doing it. Now, if you can explain a process simply to someone, then you can also explain it to an AI, and then you can clone yourself inside it. You basically take what you do, split it into steps, and then you make the AI do it for you. And every work that you do online can be partially automated. You can automate from 10% to 99% of everything. Now, a prompt disappears, a skill stays. Let's say I worked with ChatGPT for 1 day to create a presentation and I got a really good result. Now next time I do it, it will take the same amount of time. Maybe a bit less because now I know how to do it, but still it will take like a lot of time. Now if we save all the steps inside the skill, then for the next presentation we can just call it, and instead of 8 hours it will take 1. And that's what automation is. Now there is a common mistake that I've seen happening, and it's building one giant skill that does everything. Don't do that. Small and specific wins. One skill should be one task. That's why I went specific here, and we've built a skill specifically for inbound client inquiries. We didn't build like an email skill. And you can write it once and it travels. As I've mentioned earlier, you can use skills with ChatGPT, with Claude, with Gemini. The structure is the same in all of them, but it's a bit different how you can save them. Now there are levels to this. You can also build skills on your desktop, and for that you would have to use something like Codex or Claude Code or Anti-Gravity. But these are amazing, you can check them out on my channel. They save you hours every single day, and they open new possibilities for you just because you got that time back. So that's my inbox handle, specifically inbound client requests. But here's the thing that actually gets me about videos like this one. Someone shows you their setup, it looks incredible, but then you close the video and see that like, what do I actually do with that? Okay, it looks good, but what do I do with it? And that happens because my work isn't necessarily your work. So let me stop showing you mine and show you how I find yours. And for this I defined the process. A set of questions that you have to answer in order to discover what you can automate. Of course, you're not gonna do it alone, only parts of it. For the rest, you're gonna be using an AI. So the first question is, what takes the most time? And I'm just gonna open a notes app to answer them. Let me just copy the question. So what takes the most time? For me, it's video production. For you, I bet it's something different, but go ahead and think about it, brainstorm a bit. What do I do that takes the most time? For a lot of people, it's working in an Excel file. For others, it's creating presentations. Go ahead and think about yours. Now that we have this, we can go to the second step, split it into tasks. I'm just gonna create a list here. First, I have to find ideas. Then I have to think about the video structure. Then I have to think about the hook and script it. Then I have to create a title, then a thumbnail. Then I have to film it. Then I have to create a few animations for it. Then I have to edit it. And I can split this further. Cut the video, add the animations. And on a high level, this is everything that I do for a video. Now, think about your process. If you create presentations, for example, you have to think of the topic, you have to decide on a design, or if you have a standard, that's even better because this is exactly what a skill is, a repeatable set of instructions. Then you have to think about how to display that information there. Then you have to think about what to say on these specific slides. So that's all you have to do, split the process into specific tasks. Okay, now that we have this as well, let's go to the next step. Put a number on each. By the way, do not ask an AI to do so because it doesn't know your week, it doesn't know how you work, it doesn't know how much time it takes. Do this yourself. So let's go back. How much does finding ideas take me? It's about 2 hours, but this is a creative process, so I'm also gonna input a note here. 2 hours, maybe automate some research. I want this process to stay creative. Then I have to think about the video structure. This takes like 2 hours as well. And then I'm gonna input one more note here. Then hook, then the title, thumbnail. Now it's automated for me and it takes a few minutes, but in the past it used to take me like 2 hours. Then filming it, there's not much I can automate here. Then for creating the animations, this one takes a long time. Cutting the video, and then adding the animations. Okay, so we have the process, we split it into tasks, and then we estimated how much time it takes. Let me make this a bit bigger and go to the next step, hand it over. So, let's go to an AI, I'm gonna go to ChatGPT, I'm gonna open a new chat. I'm just gonna copy paste what I've written, paste it. Now, here's what I found that I do in my own work. Put all of them in a table, ranked by how much time they take, and that's it, send it. So you get a bit more structure. So this is the one that takes most time, creating the animations. Then some of them can't be automated. From this list, what can I automate so I get the most time back? Amazing, and it added 2 new columns. So for create animations, for example, I could do something that could give my time back. This is like 75%. For thumbnails as well, but these are just estimations. You have to be creative as well, because I managed to automate even more than OpenAI is telling me that could be done. It also gave me some notes. Now let me choose one myself and show you how easy it is. Okay, let me go with thumbnails, because I feel like I could get a lot of time back here. Let's automate thumbnails. I'm gonna send you a screenshot of how my thumbnails look right now, and then I need you to generate a skill and use your image generation model to actually do this instead of me. Okay, now I'm just gonna go on my channel and I'm just gonna screenshot it, go back to ChatGPT and paste it. Now this is really high level, you have to give in a bit more instructions, like I want to start from a title, or I want to come up with 5 concepts before generating the thumbnail. But let's see what we get in the least amount of time. See, and I don't even have to use a connector for this one. Maybe I will if I want to save this inside my Notion. If that's a step I want to add, then I can go to plugins right here, go to Notion, click on plus, sign in with Notion, and that's it. Done. See, this is not how my face looks like. So define the skill for generating these thumbnails, starting from a title and a topic. I need you to come up with 5 concepts before you start actually generating them, and I'm gonna choose from them or come up with a new one. As a hard rule, make sure that you take my style from the screenshot that I've sent you, and then that you don't edit me as much. Okay, let's send it. It didn't save it as a skill, so let's tell it to do so. Save this as a skill you can use. Okay, it's telling me that it's saved, but it's not, because if we go to plugins and skills right here, it's not present, so it's hallucinating a bit. So let me just send it a screenshot. So it's not here in skills. How did you save it? And now I hope it's gonna realize the mistake it made and it's gonna add it there. It is hallucinating a bit more now, because it's telling me that it can generate the proper package and I can upload it. But as you've seen earlier, we created it ourselves. But let's just do it so we don't waste any more time. So give me the prompt I should give you after I click on create with chat. Let me just copy it, go back to plugins, skills, plus, create with chat. I'm gonna delete the last part and paste the prompt. And that's it. This is something I could have told it in the other session as well, to use the skill creator, which is a default skill that it has. It's done. Now let's open a new chat and test it. So we can just type in @ and then search for it, thumbnail generator. Amazing. Now let's give it a video title. It's this video right here. And now we're gonna wait for the concepts. That was the first step. It came back with the concepts from 1 to 5. So let's go with 1 and start from the attached subject. I'm gonna put a photo of me here. Let's send it. And it looks amazing. So what, in 2-3 minutes we just automated like 90% of thumbnail generation. And we said here in this table that it takes, what, 2 hours? Now if I were to create 3 thumbnails a week, that would mean 6 hours. So I just got my time back. Now do the same on your processes. As you build more skills, as you work more with them, you'll find more ideas on what you could automate from your own work. Now if you want to take this further and practice more and actually get something out of it, like turning ChatGPT into your personal assistant, then check out this video right here. I'll see you there.